Alright, so now that we have our rotating part, what we're going to look is we're going to look at making a message come out when our first person shooter moves through this wall. So we need to set up a trigger. First thing you need to do though, which we didn't do before, was just remove that main camera, because the actual first person shooter has a main camera in it. So we might just remove that first. So get rid of that. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to add some script in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this script trigger script. So we go up to our project, create, and it's JavaScript again. We're going to call it trigger underscore script. Got that there, double click on that, let that open. Right, then we're going to go over to our script here. I'm going to go grab this script. That. Go over to here, get rid of the start function and the update function, and just put in our collider. So we'll save that. Close that down. Now what we need to do is we need to attach that to the cube. So click on our cube, go back to our inspector, make sure that he's not, actually we do have it already, so I did that before, so I'm going to remove that for a minute. What you'll also see is I don't have the rotate one, so we've removed that. So add script, trigger script. Now I've got the trigger script, I need to tell it what it's got to collide with, and it's got to collide with first person shooter. So I go and click on that, grab my first person collider, double click on there, and it's going to hit with there. The other thing is I need to make sure that I click on my box and make sure that the is trigger is selected. So now if I play it and just face here, oops, actually I've already got it down there, so we might just click on here and clear that. So you can see that that actually happens. Come back to my part, and if I move forward, go through, and then goes and registers that. Right, now that our guy is actually making some sort of message, we'll clear that again. Alright, now he's making a message when he goes through. We actually want to get some numbers, get him to count how many times. So I'm going to go change our script. So I've actually got another script in there under the counting part. I'm going to copy that script. Just going to copy the whole thing just so that we don't miss anything. So it really is just adding a couple of things, and I'll just show you what it adds. And then we go back into our trigger script. We're going to remove the script that we just had, and we're going to paste down the new one. So what it added there was it added a variable to get how many times it actually clicks. It's preset it as an integer to 0. Then when it hits, it's going to make the hits equal what it was plus another one. Then it's going to print out the bump plus how many times it's hit so far, and then the word times. Save that, close that, play that. So we'll look at our guy, we'll move forward, bump 1, again, bump 2, 3 times. Alright, because we got that on the way back out. Now that he has hitting through there, we want him to make a little bit of a sound. So we're going to import a sound first of all. So I'm going to go to assets. It's not a whole package, it's just one. So we're going to go import new asset. On my desktop I've got some, so you just find a WAV file or something like that. I've got a little beep there. Play that. That sound comes in, and that's part of my assets. What we want to do is want to go back to our actually we'll go back to our inspector for our cue, because we can get back to our trigger. Double click on there, and what we want to do is we want to, on trigger enter, we actually want to add a bit of a sound. So if we go over to sound here, this is all of that. Actually, we're going to get it to do this sound though and keep the numbers. So what we need to do is just add this one, copy that, come back to here. So if it hits the target, then we want it to do all these things. So it's put it in between here because this is what happens if it's true. And we're going to paste that in. This is my sound. Okay, so see I've got variables for the target. What I don't have here after my count is I don't have a variable for the sound. So I go over there and it's got a my variable declaring that and paste it in. So it's declaring a thing called my variable, auto clip. Now what you'll see is once that finishes, close that. You see now this should change. Just click on there, clear that, close that. Okay, and then we see the my sound. We need to attach a sound. Click on that, grab my beep, double click, got my beep sound there. So now that we've got that beep in there, what we need to do is we need to add that component. So we go component, audio source. You go through, make sure that's a tick there. It's quite faint, but you actually hear that beep each time. Done.